Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara Likes Mascara. To give you a little bit of background about myself, I have been on a conscious consumerism journey for over 6 years now. During that period of time, I have mostly been on a makeup no-buy with some makeup low-buys interspersed in there. I have been project panning for that entire time. I have been really making it an attempt to purchase less makeup and also just to buy fewer things generally, not just within makeup, but within, clothing, beauty, everything. And I just overall revamped my entire approach to shopping and my approach to my relationship with makeup. And I really need to credit YouTube as the reason for all of this. If I was not creating videos and makeup content for you guys regularly, it is so strange to think about this not being an aspect of my life because my makeup and my YouTube channel, they're just so interrelated that I cannot think of makeup without thinking of YouTube. Even from the very beginning, since before I was doing YouTube videos, YouTube was the reason that I got into makeup in the first place. So for many years, I was not creating content, but I was watching it. I was consuming makeup and beauty content, and I loved it. And that is what got me into makeup. That's what made me fall in love with it and really learn how to do makeup and, just learning more about the beauty world. But that relationship to makeup was very different from the way it is now, because in the initial days of falling in love with makeup, that was all about consumption. That was all about buying new products and gathering as large a makeup collection as possible, because that's kind of what was in at the time. Don't get me wrong, hauls are really big right now, but back when I was in late high school, that is all makeup was. I feel like so much of it was makeup hauls and showing one's own collection, showing one's favorite products, and also how to do different makeup looks. And I was so inspired by all of this. I just wanted to have a makeup collection that rivaled the size of those beauty content creators. Fast forward to 2019, when I started realizing that my relationship to makeup was kind of unhealthy. I never finished any products ever. I never decluttered anything. I just wanted as big a collection as possible, and this was just untenable. I just didn't have the space for it or the brain space for it either. So I started changing things, and now here I am today. My collection is much, much smaller. I only buy things that I know I am going to enjoy. I carefully think through every single purchase. And I'm much more focused on what leaves my collection and trying to finish those products than what comes into it. I recently did a video of all of the lessons that I learned from project panning. This has been so transformative to my relationship to makeup. But today I wanted to specifically credit YouTube with so much of the reason my makeup life looks the way it does today. And I wanted to talk about how being on YouTube has actually changed my life and my relationship to makeup in positive ways. So let's just get into it. So the first thing that comes to mind is that I am now always accountable to someone else, and not just one other individual, but to everybody who is watching and tuning into my videos regularly. I post one video every single Saturday. I only miss a few videos a year, and then I also post regularly to TikTok and Instagram, and also YouTube Shorts. So I have a lot of content. I'm always talking about makeup. I'm always talking about how my panning journey is going, if I have any new makeup products that have been finished, if I'm thinking of bringing anything new into my collection. I talk about everything that pertains to makeup. And what I mean by always being accountable is that if I'm considering buying a new product, I'm always thinking about my audience and the people watching me and how they are going to keep me in line in a good way. And so if I'm on a makeup no buy, which this year I've called a makeup low buy, but for the second half of the year I'm effectively on a makeup no buy because I'm trying to hit 125 makeup products in my entire collection by the end of the year, and the only way to do that is by not bringing any new things in. But I know that if I buy new products, that's going to be going back on my word, and that's going to be going back on what I committed to all of you who watch my videos. I need to stick to my makeup goals because I told someone about them. I was vocal. It wasn't as if I just like made a goal in my head and there's no stakes if I break it. If it turns out I was just lying to myself, like, oh, I want to bring down the overall size of my makeup collection, but I'm not putting any steps in place to do that. No, I told all of you, and so I need to keep myself to that standard because of these videos where I do regular check-ins. I think about this accountability all the time when I'm considering buying new products, when someone offers to declutter makeup products to me and I'm trying to decide if I should accept them or not. And then also when I'm using products. So if there's one day where I'm like, oh man, I really want to use this very specific highlight, but then I'm going to end up using my Project Pan highlight one time less. No, I shouldn't do that because in my next Project Pan update, I want there to be significant progress on those products. Having someone to stay accountable to and someone to whom I have committed these specific goals makes it easier to stick to those goals. I want to be using my Project Pan products because I want to be able to share the good news and the updates and the progress that I have made. And so if I am not regularly using those products and I'm using other products in my collection, I'm not going to have good news to share for you. I suppose you could see this in a negative light, like, oh, you need to stick to something because you've promised someone and because of that you can't actually use the makeup products you like, but I don't feel that way. It doesn't feel confining at all. It just feels like, I'm committed, I'm staying on track, and there's a reason for doing that. I use the anecdote of this orchestra that I'm in. So I play violin, I'm in an orchestra, but when we don't have regular rehearsals, I don't practice. I don't have anyone like holding me to account and making sure that I'm practicing. But when we have rehearsal, I need to be able to play the music. I need to be passably good at performing, right? I don't want to be standing out because I can't play the music and I clearly have not been practicing. So by going to rehearsals, it ensures that I am practicing regularly. Some people may not need that accountability, but I really do. And I find it super helpful to have these regular check-ins on here, both with project panning, but also with my regular quarterly updates on how my relationship to my makeup low buy and to my makeup collection is going. So thank you for providing that accountability, whether or not you intended to. Another thing that I do because of YouTube is track my makeup usage. So I don't do this with every product, but for products where you're not really going to see much visual progress, like eyeliners or lip liners, if you're making really, really incremental progress, let me find an example. Like here, you can see that I'm tracking how much usage there has been on specific products. And that is because I used to not do this. So in my Project Pan updates, I would just be like, yeah, I think I've used it a little bit, but not that much, but I wouldn't actually have any proof to show. This is really helpful to show, look, I actually have used up a ton of the product this past month, or no, I actually didn't use up as much as I thought I did. Ensure you don't need to be creating videos on YouTube to track your makeup progress, but I know for me personally, it is the only way to incentivize myself to track that progress. I know some people in the Project Pan community, they're not public facing, they don't have YouTube or TikTok or Instagram accounts or anything like that, and they do track their progress and their usage. It just couldn't be me. I just would not make the time and space in my life for tracking if I did not absolutely need to. There's people who track every single usage, not just with eyeliners and lip liners, but every time they use a product, they track it so they know how many times per week or per month they're using that product. That would be incredible information to gather. That would be so cool to look back on. I just know that I would not do that. It's just a time thing for me. I am running late most of the time. I just always schedule in way too much for myself to do on a day-to-day basis. Today I have to leave in approximately 30 minutes and I still need to, I need to film this video. I was hoping to film a TikTok, but that's probably not going to happen. I need to write a birthday card for my friend and wrap up her gift. And I need to eat a little bit of lunch and probably touch up my makeup. I need to do that within the next 30 to 35 minutes and I still have about 20 minutes left of this video to film. So I never have time. Like, after I did my makeup, right away I came here and I sat down and I started filming. And I know that tracking all those products, that would take an extra 3 to 5 minutes. And I just never have an extra 3 to 5 minutes when I'm getting ready in the morning. When I'm going to work, I already take too long putting my makeup in the morning. So it's not like today is like a specific time when, oh, I'm running late today. No, I always plan the maximum number of things to do in any given time. And yeah, if I'm trying to run out the door, like, you bet I did not have an extra 3 minutes to track my makeup usage. I know myself. I know that's not realistic for me. The only way to get myself to do it is to hold me accountable because of these YouTube videos. So tracking, I entirely do because of YouTube, and I think my makeup life is a lot better for it to be able to see this progress, but it's all down to YouTube. I also didn't even know about makeup tracking without like YouTube videos. So it was because of this community that I learned that this was even a thing that you should be doing. And I think that this tracking has all kinds of knock-on effects, if that's a word, if that's a term. Tracking gives me a real sense of how long it takes to finish a product if I am dedicated to it. Like, look, you can see the disparity here. This product, look how much progress I was getting each update. There's a month between each of these updates. Whereas this one, such minimal progress compared, right? So I can see, lip liner, I'm able to use it up much faster than eyeliner. That's really helpful information and something that I would not have found out without this tracking. And I don't even mean tracking like just in terms of like pen writing things down, but tracking can be pictures of pan progress. For example, this Tarte blush, you can see there's a decent amount of pan in there, and every month I'm taking pictures to show how much progress there has been. And maybe I'll insert some pictures here so you can see the progress. But I would have thought this would be super easy to finish because it is a mini. Of course, it's a powder blush, and those are notoriously hard to finish, but still, it's a mini, and I love this shade, and I feel like I'm reaching for it a decent amount, and yet it's being used up really slowly. But because of YouTube, I am tracking the progress through pictures, and so I can actually see how long it takes to finish makeup products, and that is so helpful in informing the decisions I make in terms of purchasing new products and how frequently I should be doing so. Like, maybe I would have thought that I finish a blush every 6 months, for example, but it turns out that I actually take 2 to 3 years to finish a blush. That means that if I just got a new blush this year, I shouldn't be buying any new blushes for the next 2 years, unless I declutter some of the ones that I currently have. It is so humbling to find out how long it actually takes to finish off makeup products, and I have only found that out through my own usage and tracking that usage because of YouTube. It's also good to know in terms of how long it takes between, hitting pan and actually finishing that product, because if I was planning to repurchase that Tarte mini, maybe at this point, since I've hit pan, I would have thought, I'm almost finished. I should go and buy a new one today before I finish it. But realistically, that's not going to get done minimum in the next 4 months. That's going to take at least 4 months. So I can feasibly wait until 2026 to purchase a new blush. And before, I might have thought that I needed to go repurchase today. And there's simply no rush. So I'm just overall more informed about my own makeup usage and how to navigate purchases and the timing of purchases. Another thing that I credit YouTube with is inspiring me or allowing me to use products that I otherwise would not. So for example, right now I am on a dark lipstick project pan. I will link that right here. It is having mixed results. So far I have not panned any of these lipsticks, but I have decluttered 3 of them because I don't love them. And if I was not on YouTube, I would never have created this project because it is pretty intimidating. Like, it's just not something that I would have set up for myself. But what's motivating me to do it is these video updates and also all of your comments. I've said this before, but for whatever reason, those dark lipstick project pan videos get the most comments out of any of my videos. they don't get the most views. So a couple videos ago was my dark lipstick project pan update, and it got 2.3k views, which is on the lower end for sure of my videos, but it has 67 comments, and most of those I did not respond to just because this last week was very busy and it takes quite a bit of like time and energy to respond to comments. So that could easily get to over 100 if I responded to all the comments, whereas my other videos are like, the week before that had 21 comments, the week before that 17, and then before that 32, 33, 30. You see, like, I just get so many more comments on those videos, and that engagement and hearing all of your thoughts on the lipsticks and hearing how much you like dark lipstick, that really helps me and inspires me to keep going with that project, because there have been a couple times where I've been like, I should probably cancel this project because it's just not going well. It's not going according to plan. I did a red lipstick project pan in 2024 and I did a pink lipstick project pan in 2023, and both of those went way better. I was panning left, right, and center. But this one, not so much. But I'm sticking to it because you guys love it and you encourage me to keep using those dark lipsticks even if I don't love them. Should I put a little bit of one on right now? You guys said you loved black cherry. Like, that's a lot of color, especially considering I've got this like red, orange, yellow eye look going on right now, but I'm doing it for you. So yeah, YouTube has gotten me to engage with products in my collection that otherwise I would never reach for. Another thing that I find YouTube super useful for is basically the crowdsourcing element. So I have a lot of other people's feedback when I'm thinking anything through. Even like the dark lipstick project pan, that's one thing where you guys are like encouraging me to use up the dark lipsticks and not declutter all of them and not cancel the project. Or sometimes I will mention a product that I am considering purchasing, or I'm trying to decide between two products, or I'm just like, what's a good loose powder? Like, I'm trying to figure out a new product to buy. What should I get? And then hearing all of your responses, or hearing, hey, I hated that product, but I like this one, or oh, I love that product. That is such useful feedback because that is unbiased. You know, it's not like when you see these reviews or like good product lists in, I want to say CoverGirl, like Cosmo or like magazines where you know that they're being compensated to review those products, or even a YouTuber who's giving a really highly positive review of a product, but it's a sponsored video. Your comments are not biased whatsoever, and so they are such valuable feedback for me. So I just love the like crowdsourcing aspect of YouTube and getting to engage with all of you. And not even just when it comes to purchasing product and what I should buy next, but people will give me really helpful ideas like, oh, have you tried using that lipstick as a blush? And no, I had never tried that before, but enough of you said it that I tried it. And last year, I'm pretty sure I did not use any cream blushes in my collection whatsoever. I was only using lipstick as blush and I loved it. So things like that, I just would never have done if not for YouTube. I love trying new things. It gets me out of my comfort zone, but I do definitely need that push. And I thank you guys for that push. And speaking of getting out of my comfort zone, being on YouTube also helps me to get more creative with my makeup looks, because I kind of feel like there's a little bit of like an implicit standard. If I'm a makeup channel, I want to be known for having at least decent or interesting makeup. Like, there's so many incredible YouTubers on here who do absolutely amazing makeup looks, and I am not a makeup artist whatsoever, but I still want my makeup to be like interesting and creative. And if I'm filming one video every single week, I don't want to look the same in all my videos. I want to be different from one look to the next. You know, last week maybe I had some like pink shimmer as an eyeshadow. The week before I was wearing like dark lipstick. Today I've got this like mango smoothie, that's what I'm thinking of it, eye look. I want to appear different in every video, and so that helps me to be creative. Also, because I generally film on the same day when I like have plans. Like later I have a friend's birthday and then I'm going out for dinner with some other friends, and I probably would not set aside as much time as I did today to put on makeup. I would have just done like a basic, I don't know, a little bit of a black eyeliner and mascara and maybe a tiny bit of something in the crease, but like that's it. But because I knew I was filming a YouTube video, I'm like, oh, well, I'll give myself a little bit of extra time to get ready, and then I'll just have a more interesting makeup look for the rest of my day. And that's how it was last week and the week before and every week that I film. It just helps me to actually make the time to put together those more interesting makeup looks. It really forces me to play around and not do the same makeup every single week, every single day. And I don't film every day, right? I'm filming one video a week, so some weeks I will film 2 videos in one day, but days like today I'm just filming 1 video. And so I suppose that could leave all the other days of the week just like empty, and I could do like basic makeup or no makeup at all or whatever. But I also take pictures of my makeup all the time, partially just for me, like tracking purposes, also because sometimes I like to share that on Instagram, and also because I am on so many different projects that I like to document those looks for those projects. So one of my projects right now is an eyeshadow roulette, and the eyeshadow palette that I'm using right now is Yes Please from ColourPop, and it is my most colorful, if not second most colorful eyeshadow palette, and so that's why I have 3 different shades on my eyes today. And when I do an update video and I say this was the palette I was using this week, I want to have pictures of all of the different makeup looks that I created within that period of time with that eyeshadow palette. And so I need to be doing regularly interesting makeup. So of course, today I'm going to take a picture of my makeup look, and in that update video, you will see a picture of this eyeshadow look. So being on YouTube and doing those projects also encourages me to do interesting makeup even when I'm not specifically filming. It helps me to try different looks that I might not otherwise feel incentivized enough to do. Wow, I am talking so fast. We're blowing right through this. I might even not be running too late today. We'll see. I just have one final way in which YouTube has changed my relationship to makeup, and that is essentially just as a record, as a time capsule. I have been putting out 1 video a week, every week, for the past 5 years now. Okay, maybe not every week, maybe 50 weeks a year instead of 52 weeks a year. 50 weeks every year for 5 years. 250 videos. I have changed so much within those past 5 years in every way imaginable, emotionally, intellectually, in my life, in my career, and also physically. Just last night, as I was editing a video, I mentioned my very, very first Project Pan video, and so I had to go back and find that video so that I could link it. And oh man, that just made me go back and look at old videos, some of my very first videos. And it was crazy to see. Maybe I'll include some screenshots, but like that first Project Pan video that I'm talking about, my eyebrows look unbelievable. They are so bad. And then I watched some other videos from that time period, and they were just constantly inconsistent. Like they would be different sizes in different places on my face, huge, thick, dark. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know how editing those videos, I was like, oh yeah, this is a good look. It's a good thing that I captured this on camera. I could not believe it. And then also interestingly, I actually posted a handful of videos when I was in undergrad. So before I ever started on this underconsumption, conscious consumerism journey. And that was even longer ago. Some of those videos were from like 2015. And it was interesting because some of the videos I'm looking at and I'm like, oh, I don't like the way that I did my makeup. Like this application wasn't very good. Those aren't very good products. But this one video, I thought I looked so good. I'm like, damn, how did I do my lashes? How did they look so good? My liner is so sharp. The brows look incredible. But most of the videos, they did not look good. So I thought that was so interesting, just having this like essentially a time capsule of the ways that my makeup preferences have shifted over the years, how my application style has changed, the shades that I gravitate towards, the looks that I go for, the size and shape of my eyebrows, how that's changed. All of that has been documented through my videos over the years. And even if nobody else is going back and watching those early videos, I am. I'm so glad to be able to track that and track those changes. And sometimes I'll show my partner and be like, look, that like this was me 10 years ago. Can you imagine? He's like, oh my God, baby Lara, you were so young. Like, imagine if we had met back then. That would have been so crazy. It's just super interesting to see how I styled myself and even how I spoke, how I put things into words. All of that has changed so much. And yes, I have pictures, but pictures can only communicate so much. A video has so much more to convey. I just love seeing how my makeup application has changed over the years and how it's improved, but also how even my actual appearance itself has changed over the years. That was so interesting. So yeah, that was everything that I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts, how long you have been watching my videos, and what you think about staying accountable because of YouTube. If I stopped doing YouTube videos one day, I don't know how many of these like skills or how many of these projects I would continue without YouTube. I really don't. I hope I would continue them, but I think so much of the reason that I do project panning and all these other kinds of projects is because of YouTube. So thank you for watching, because if you didn't, I would not make these videos, and thus I would not do so many of these things. My makeup life would look completely different. So thanks again, and I will speak to you next week. Bye.